For a while now, I had wanted to mod my Nintendo Switch, so that I could play my GBA Pokémon games. Sure, Nintendo has the GBA emulator, but goddamn do they take forever to release anything on there. I paid their Nintendo Online expansion for about maybe 2 years when it first came out, hoping to play Emerald or LeafGreen on the Switch, but it's never come. Or at least, not yet. And I feel like we might be getting close to the generational end for the Switch, maybe? I don't know. I'm really not up on the whole Nintendo ecosystem. It's just as sad as when Sony allowed Ratchet and Clank 2 and Up Your Arsenal, the Ratchet and Clank 3, on their classics catalog, but not in Australia. It sucks. Those games were great. So I've stopped paying for the subscriptions to Nintendo and Sony, and I began researching how I can get my Switch modded. I have a version 1 Switch which had a serial number in the category of unknown if patched. The first thing I bought was an RCM jig. Turns out my Switch was in fact patched. Now, 2 years later, I decided to jump back in since I've started working on electronics for part of my job, and I felt more comfortable with the soldering and everything. I wanted to see if there were any hardware mods available that I could install. Lo and behold, there was something that was made called the Hardware Fly, also the Pico Fly. I think they're both made on the same thing now, and that's great. I have like 12 Pico dev boards in my component stash. Then I saw how many extra parts we needed, MOSFETs, resistors, and cables, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go over to AliExpress, and I found the Hardware Fly ribbon cables that include all of that for me, and I don't have to mess around with getting specific parts that fit under the shield. So I put that together, bingo bango, I have a modded Switch, and now I can play my dumped LeafGreen ROM and save file. During this process I discovered some awesome mods for the GBA that I just had to try. And well, my old Platinum GBA shell was looking a bit trashed. I have had it since I was about 7 years old, so I mean, it's gonna have some wear. I decided to grab a new shell and a 3.0 IPS version 5 display kit. As, you know, after all these years, I can't believe how I ever played on that GBA screen. If any console was to mess your eyes up from the strain of low light, it would definitely have to be this one, or at least one of the high contenders. Now, I'm no master of these things, but I did do some soldering here for this kit. It's totally unnecessary if all you want is a backlit screen with no option to change brightness. Also, I highly recommend getting rid of the touch sensors that are included. They're not great. I had to do a little bit of work to get the spacer to fit flat on the bottom of the shell. There's like a raised little lip for centering the screen. So I just got my Dremel out and I just buzzed it lightly, and then I used my flush cutters to trim the excess and melted plastic. So the screen isn't laminated in this kit, meaning that it's not stuck to the glass, and it's not pre-assembled for you to just slap in and connect to your motherboard, which is good. Means we don't have to do any shell cutting for the centering of the display, or even to put the display in. We just need to align it with these spacers. Now, I have two screen covers. The one that came with the shell looks dope as all heck with the latios and latias on the foil section at the bottom. but it's quite thin and also doesn't feel very quality-like. It might be a very thin glass, but I think it's plastic. I couldn't say for sure though. But the one that came with the IPS screen mod is definitely glass, and it is thick, so I chose to use that. I'll keep the cool Latios cover for maybe another shell or project, I don't know. So I did have to go back and rework things a little bit, as the buttons weren't behaving properly. It all works now, but the shell feels very cheap and loose, even with the screws all in the way. All the way. I would like to find a better one in the future, but I don't have a very good resource for that. If you know a place that can ship to Australia, let me know in the comments, I'm very interested. Now that's all done, we can fire up an epic feeling version of Pokemon LeafGreen on the backlit GBA. Honestly, this is way better than the Game Boy Micro, even rivaling the Game Boy SP, I would say. If I wanted to, I could even go and dump the save onto my PC, open up Visual Boy, give myself any event tickets, say for like Mew, and flash the save back onto my card using my other cool new tool, GBX card. Now, I can't flash a new ROM onto the card, it's not going to be possible as it is an original card and that's all locked down, but I can upload save files to it. I'm not going to do that in this video, but heck, maybe we'll do it in the future. I also have a Switch V2 to mod chip, as well as a PS5 controller to add Hall Effect joysticks to. So if you enjoyed this video, drop a sub, hit that like button, and stick around for those videos that are about to come. And if you want to see other content that I do, check out the main channel, at Hank_Bloodshadow. See you guys next time. Bye for now.